It is a common experience for couples who once shared a vibrant physical bond to eventually feel like they are living with a roommate. And when physical barriers or repeated rejections start to pile up, you and your partner slowly drift apart, turning intimacy into a source of tension rather than connection. We are going to build a 4-step roadmap to change that. This process is designed to lower the stakes of your interactions and provide a structure that prioritizes emotional safety over sexual performance. To make this work, I want you to grab a pen and a piece of paper right now. We are going to build your personalized written plan together, step by step. Putting these steps down on paper takes a nebulous, overwhelming relationship problem and breaks it into a series of manageable, low-pressure milestones. We start by identifying the avoidant dynamic, which is a primary block to physical connection. It happens when one partner initiates, the other says no, and the initiating partner responds by pulling away entirely. This creates a loop of isolation that grows with every rejection. The damage here is cumulative. Every time you turn away and leave each other to process that rejection alone, you both reinforce the idea that initiation is a risk and rejection is a final verdict. The teammate dynamic offers a different path. In this model, a rejection doesn't stop the flow of connection, it simply redirects it. Instead of pulling away, the initiating partner accepts the no and immediately looks for a different way to be close. For step 1 of your plan, write down a specific collaborative script you will use the next time you face a rejection. For example, "I know you're tired. Can we just snuggle on the couch for 10 minutes?" By acknowledging the lack of physical connection without assigning blame, you are acting as a team against the problem. This collaborative stance makes it easier for your partner to respond without the reflex of defensiveness. With your communication shift ready, we move to step 2, the emotional bank account. Physical safety requires a foundation of emotional trust. You cannot expect to make a withdrawal of physical intimacy if the emotional account is empty. You make deposits through small, frequent, non-sexual interactions. This list shows a few reliable examples: having a dedicated conversation to reduce stress at the end of the day, sharing a 6-second kiss, or keeping a non-negotiable weekly date night. Write down step 2. Under it, list 3 specific non-sexual activities that you will commit to doing for your partner this week. Consistent, non-physical emotional deposits help bridge the gap. They help you transition from isolated roommates back to partners who trust each other's intentions. Now we can safely reintroduce touch through step 3, the sex embargo. This is an explicit, mutual agreement to take intercourse completely off the table for a set period of time. Many couples stop touching altogether because they fear that even a simple hug will be interpreted as a request for sex. By agreeing to the embargo, you remove that unspoken pressure, allowing touch to be just touch. For step 3, write out your embargo agreement. Below that, list 3 types of safe, non-sexual physical affection you want to practice together, like holding hands, a back massage, or cuddling in bed. Intentionally removing the end goal of sex creates a safe environment. It allows physical touch to feel accessible again, because neither of you has to worry about where it might lead. When you both agree it is time to lift the embargo, you enter step 4. You start with guided, full-body touching exercises. The objective here is sensory exploration and safety, not racing toward intercourse. To proactively address physical comfort during this phase, make high-quality personal lubricants a standard part of the process. This helps prevent friction-related discomfort from stalling your progress. Use this troubleshooting matrix to manage dyspareunia, or painful intercourse. For sharp pain, you must immediately speak up, change positions, or stop. If pain persists, follow the escalation step. Ongoing pain requires medical evaluation from a doctor or pelvic floor physical therapist. For your final step, write down this safety net and these troubleshooting rules. You will rely on this exact checklist when you eventually decide to lift the embargo. Having a clear troubleshooting plan ensures that unexpected physical pain doesn't derail the emotional connection you've built in the previous steps. Look at the paper in your hand. You now have a completed 4-step intimacy reconnection plan. You have a script for rejection, a plan for emotional deposits, a defined sex embargo, and a physical safety net. Your next step is to sit down with your partner and share this written roadmap. Review the boundaries together and agree to start with step 1 today. This is a patient journey. Move at a pace that feels secure for both of you, and maintain the agreement that you will never tolerate persistent physical pain without seeking professional medical help. Intimacy is built on deliberate communication, clear boundaries, and structured patience. Following this plan replaces unspoken expectations with a shared path back to each other. Science